is good. As Green hits a three. Shot clock at 4. Green again.
I don't come into the game saying, oh, I have to shoot a lot more. Like, that's not me. That's not what I do for this team.
Draymond Green for 3. Puts it in. Draymond Green lighting it up.
Only 5 players have ever recorded 25.5 rebound, 5 assists, 3 three-pointer games in the NBA Finals. 2 play for tonight's road team, including the MVP and Draymond Green, who starred in Game 2. Between games, DG sat down with our DA.
Do you think there really is a counter in terms of X's and O's that they can do to get them back in this series?
I mean, I think there's always adjustments to be made, and I'm sure that they've, watched the tape and, come up with some adjustments that they're going to make. But, I think if we continue to play hard, I think the goal stepping on the floor is always to be the hardest playing team. And if we can do that, I mean, there's no adjustment to that. If you outplay someone, you just outplay them. And so that's our goal coming onto the court, regardless of what adjustment they make, that they can't outplay us. They can't work harder than us. And that's always the goal coming into the season.
In Game 2, you were left open. Whether that was by design or not, you were left open. How important is it to you and to the team to shoot that shot in rhythm, regardless of why you're open?
I mean, it's very important because it keeps the flow and rhythm of the offense going. If you open, take the shot. Whether you make it or miss it, it keeps our offense flowing. So, I was wide open a lot, and I just took the shot with confidence and was able to knock him down. And, I'm not sure how they'll guard, next game or if that'll be their game plan. But if it is, I'll just take the shots again. And if not, I'll find my shots within offense.
Well, he hit 5 threes in that game, too, and he talked about how important assistant coach Luke Walton was in telling him to go ahead and shoot it with confidence, without hesitation. If you're defending him, when the Dubs are in their small ball lineups, what kind of a challenge is he?
Well, he's a challenge on one end of the floor, and you can take advantage on the other end of the floor. I'm not going to let that little guy play me. I always tell this story. One of the great coaches I played for was Paul Silas. And we got into an argument, and then at halftime one night, I told him I was going to punch him in the head. He says, you got a head too. and it taught me a lesson. Like, yeah, he has an advantage on one end of the court, but I got an advantage on the other end of the court. Go back to last series. He was struggling because those big balls was wearing him down low. He had to box him out the whole time. But when you play small ball, he doesn't have to box those small guys out. And he has, it's a perfect game for him. I'm going to put a big guy on him and make him work hard. But he can shoot it. But if he makes a shot, I can live with it. As long as Steph and Clay aren't going crazy.
Yeah, the Warriors are not seeing that kind of OKC length at the rim when they get there so far. They're also seeing, frankly, some inattentive defense from the Cavaliers when it comes to back cuts.
You're right. You're right, Matt. They don't have the length inside, but also they don't have the athleticism on the perimeter that OKC had. OKC's perimeter was long. You didn't see the dribble penetration getting to the basket like you're seeing in this series. A lot of those Draymond Green shots were off of penetration. But also, too, their ability, as you said, Matt, to move and the back cuts. Poor defense. Channing Frye loses sight of the basketball. Harrison Barnes, a nice easy cut. You have guys who can make passes on the perimeter like Andre Iguodala finding the open man. And then once again right here, LeBron James loses sight of the basketball. A simple screen down, Draymond Green slips. Easy layup, another easy basket. And of course right here, J.R. Smith loses sight of Clay, and Clay just pretty much waltzes right down the lane. Easy, simple pass from Draymond Green. Those are 3 possessions where Golden State just got easy baskets because of poor defensive execution. You can't give up those kind of baskets.
Those are 3 of the worst defensive plays I've ever seen.
I'm with you, Chuck. Reason why is there's nothing tricky.
Nothing.
You got to chuck a guy, maybe you get some fouls, but also it's just, hey, we got to also say, hey, we got to play some defense.
Yeah.
You got to guard your man, and if you beat, I got to trust that you and Grant going to have my back, and then we got to be in full rotation.
But Smitty, that's the thing when guarding teams that have movement. You're constantly paranoid on defense. The guys are turning their head because there's so much movement on the offensive end of Golden State. that they're getting easy
What I
baskets.
love about that, Grant, you said it right, but there's also, you have to be a basketball player. There's some guys that's moving and he can't shoot. I'm not going to move out there with him.
So common sense.
But
You gotta have some common
also,
sense.
if you look at a couple of those plays, there's like I wasn't a good defender. I'm not going to fake that. But I know that the ball on this side of the court, if a guy going to make a cut, he's not going to cut toward the ball. He got to cut on the other side. I mean, some of that stuff, you're like, come on, man, that can't happen. That just can't happen.
Was it terrible?
Terrible.
Terrible.
I mean, the ball is on this side of the court, and he just cut and got 2 layups. If he cuts on the other side, they probably won't even try to make that pass.
And I go back to Draymond Green. Yes, you're going to leave him open and shoot the 3, but here's a guy that can play. If he started to get hot, you have to contest.
Yeah.
And also as a guy that's a passer, for me, Chuck, and granted, you know this, I want some kind of resistance. If you're going to let me pump fake, let you come at me, and a lot of these plays, it's just beating you with hustle and hard work. But when you're going to leave him wide open, this is a contested shot. You live with
He
that.
was feeling right. He was
Now,
feeling
you know
right
that
there.
because
Yeah,
you
the
left
house
him,
was on fire
you
there.
left him wide open, and they're celebrating. But for me, there's always, hey, that's the guy we'll leave open. Right here with LeBron James. Yes, you're playing off of him. Now you got to come out. Somebody has to help and make him put it on the floor and make the next pass. You can't just give him wide open shots.
Smith, that was a middle penetration right there.
Yes.
You can't let somebody drive middle. That's what led to that open shot.
You think that, not this is just, I'm just guessing right now, do you think that at some point the Cavaliers might try zone?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, they can't keep him in front of him. You might have to try it.
Chuck, to me, you got to really be on the same page playing a zone more than even man-to-man again in the NBA.